record. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Stretch and Flex class for the week. If you are seeing this on recording, then if you do have any questions, please just let me know. We're going to do a little bit of a concentration on hip and backs today because we're in lockdown, everyone seems to be obviously a little bit more static and having more problems because they're not at their desk. So I will try to concentrate a little bit there. But if you do have any questions whilst you're doing this at any point in the day, just give me a call, no problem. So if you don't want to do anything or your system is just not feeling so good today, then just do what you want to do and just relax how you want to. This is a nice relaxing session. And to Ursula, who's definitely going to be seeing this, I hope your boys are okay. And looking forward to joining, for you to join next week. Now, ladies, if you're able to get a cushion, so I want you to just try and see if you've got a cushion or something like a block or something handy. We're going to use that a little bit in a second. So just have that relatively handy if you're able to. Thank you. We're going to start seated on the floor and I'll move it around as need be. But first of all, let's just get nice and comfortable cross-legged. I'm just going to move that slightly out of the way. And just get our minds a little bit more focused into the moment, okay? If you want to close your eyes, please by all means feel free to at any point. I wouldn't necessarily do it on the balance stuff, but that's up to you. So we're going to try to close our eyes and take a nice deep set of breaths in. Now, when you're doing this, I want you to think in through your nose, out through your mouth. This is slightly a yoga breathing motion, but I want you to count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, out, 2, 3, 4. So start, it might not be that you can hold it for 4 seconds in the first, but I want you to try and sort of think counting in, hold, out, 2, 3, 4. Really try and push all of that breath out. Just keep that cycle going. And as you keep going, it should get easier to do that. And each time you do this, it should calm your mind. Just let your shoulders drop as well. So if you have quite a stressful day, breathe it all out. Right, wherever you are, we're just going to finish the last one. So breathing in, hold, and breathing out, all of it. Good, lovely. Okay, so we're going to start with a little bit of neck work, which is obviously right at the top of the back. So keeping your hands into your lap, I'm just going to look forwards. Okay, just look forwards and then look back up towards the screen. And then we're going to dip our head forwards, all the way down and back up. So you should start to feel your neck just feeling a little bit of a strain when it's down there. And relaxing back up. And let's go one more. All the way down. Hold it there and up. Lovely. Let's do the same thing to the side. So we're not using our hands yet. We're just going to slightly and gently. Now you'll feel that down your neck here. It's quite a strong move. Well, it's a small movement, but it's actually quite strong. The tendon here is quite strong. And up. Bring it to the side. Drop your shoulders and up. To the side and up. One more each side. Nice and gently. Up and to the side and up. Lovely. Now I will never ask you to come backwards, okay? Not a good idea. This time we're going to roll. So I want you to drop down and just think, I'm just going to relax my shoulders, drop down, and then we're going to semicircle. A semicircle. And then we're going to add to that semicircle. So up and drop it round. So you're bringing your head round. And I would say it's in a circle, but not backwards, okay? forward semicircle, up and round. And it might be a bit clicky. It should feel quite nice. Okay, bring your head up to center, just finish the one that you're doing, and then you're going to drop down to the other side. So semicircle round the front and come over the top. Round the front, over the top. Round the front. Let's go for one more. Down and up to the center. Lovely. Okay, your head might feel a little bit heavy now. It'll be like whoop, flopping around. Let's get the hands involved a little bit now. So we're going to bring one arm up and over and just get a little bit of a distance between there. That's it. Hold it there. Just let go and it will spring back up. Oof. And the other side. So up and over and across. Deep breath. And release. It will spring back up. Lovely. Right. Shoulders now. We're going to roll those shoulders. So I'm going to exaggerate one of the moves that we've just done. So let's get that shoulder moving. Would you bear with me for 1 second, ladies? Harry, I'm going to have to turn that right down, sweetheart. Far too loud. Thank you. And up and roll and back down. Nice big circles. Up, roll, back down. Right, let's go the other way. Big circles. Up and roll. Good. Bring that back to neutral. We're going to go back one. So roll it nice back, and as if I'm there and behind you, without being scary. I'm behind you. And just putting a tiny bit of pressure down on those shoulders. So if we were in the class together, I'd just be going around, just putting a tiny bit of pressure, and you're going to drop that head. So it's the movement we've just done. Drop that head. Now you should feel that your shoulders is a little bit more of a strain, this one. Your shoulders are right down. You can feel that stretch right around your neck. Hold it here. It might be quite uncomfortable to hold it. Come back up and relax. God, let's do that again. Up and big roll back, drop your head. If you are quite stressed here, this will be a little bit uncomfortable. And lift your head. Relax. Oh. Right, okay, so let's have a little bit more look at your actual spine and the movement of your spine. Again, if it's just not moving too well today and working too well, just go to your own ability, okay? Because sometimes you can like twist all your way around and be like, oh, no problem. Other times you're like, oh my God. So just go with what your body is saying rather than trying to force the situation because you used to be able to do it. If your back's stiff, it's not going to help you. So bring your hand opposite, and then we're going to roll that arm up and over, and then we're just going to twist around, look over. Just the first time we do this, just be relatively gentle. Your back may be very stiff from sitting all day today. And bring yourself back to center nice and slowly. Opposite arm. We're going to do a nice big circle up and round, that's it, and twist around. Deep breath. Just let your back get used to it, and it will just sink around another millimeter or so, and bring yourself back to center. Excellent. Let's do that again. So just remember, when you're coming around, just try and keep your knees as low as possible. And I don't want them to start doing that. Okay, just keep them nice and relaxed. Bring your hand over. Nice big roll. That's it, ladies. Wonderful. And twist. So again, if your knees are starting to do this, try and relax them. Hold it there. Try and keep your back relatively straight. and roll it back round. Good. And we're coming over, roll it up and round and twist. Drop those knees, consciously drop those knees. And bring it back to center. Wonderful. Okay, so your back should feel a little bit more clicked out now. Let's have a look at those hips as well, which we will definitely come back to do some more work on. So just bring your hands forward and roll it down. Now, again, we're all at different abilities here. So if you are up here, just try and put your hands in between and drop as much as possible. If you are right down the bottom, then we're just going to drop our head. Use your hands as a pillow at the bottom if you are there. And wherever you are, I want you to completely relax. Okay, try and take 3 nice deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth, and just relax those hips down. That's it. Let's go a couple more deep breaths and just slowly bring yourself out of that. Lovely. Okay, so that was that plane. We're going to look at this plane. So we're going to come backwards. I'm just going to twist so you can see what I'm doing. All right, first one, nice and gentle. So just bring your hands just gently behind you. And we're going to just squeeze those shoulder blades, arch your back very slightly and drop your chin down. So you're looking down your chest at your lap. Nice deep breath. Deep breath in. And relax down. That's it. And just uncurl yourself from that. Right, we're going to repeat that, but I want you to go a little bit stronger on the way back. So we're going to come down first, come all the way forward. So again, just make sure you're relaxing your hips down, your knees down. We're going to roll and hinge it down, hinge down. Try not to lift your bum cheeks too far off the floor. Try not to do this. So just keep them down, head down. Relax your shoulders. Wherever you are, relax your shoulders. And let's roll it up nice and slowly. Right, now we're going to exaggerate that one. So I'd like to actually straighten your legs. So just come out and straighten your legs. We're going to come further behind, but this time I want you to do a bit more of an exaggerated stretch. So first of all, we're just going to squeeze your shoulder blades back. Then we're going to arch much more. Lift your head slightly without it being slung back. You should be able to get more of a stretch. It's not ideal demo with this jumper on. Hopefully you'll be able to see that I can arching my back there. So don't fling your head back, just keep it up, but not backwards. And if you do want to exaggerate this further, we're just going to lift up slightly, okay? That should be quite strong. Bring it down, arch and roll it back up. That's it. Okay, just give your shoulders a little jig out. Right, okay. So we're gonna do a little bit more work on the back to start with. So you're in this position, I want you to spin around slightly so your lengthways along your mat, and then we're gonna get the pillow involved. So let's have a nice relax. If you just want to curl and roll yourself down, and we're going to be on the floor for a bit, so just very much make sure you're comfortable. And mainly, let's make sure that back's comfortable. So this can normally take, a couple of seconds jiggling around a bit. And particularly if you haven't been in this position all day, your back may very slightly ache. And also, so in particular, your hip bones might just feel a little bit achy because you've just tilted them. So if they are feeling it, just give yourself a second and just relax yourself out of that. When your back hasn't actually been straight all day, when you actually straighten it out and flatten it, it takes a minute just to get used to it. So just jiggle your shoulders around, and again, just make sure that you're comfortable on the cushion. Right. I want to start with a really nice long stretch out. So feet, if you just bring them away from you and stretch your legs out nice and straight. And then we're going to bring our arms down to our sides. So you are flat on the floor. Your legs are a little bit engaged, so they're not flopped out to the side. So just bring them together. I wouldn't say point your toes, but just keep everything sort of a tad more engaged. Your hands are right by your side, and your neck should be feeling very comfortable rested on the pillow. So we're going to take a deep breath in. And this is subject to you having room. We're going to lift our arms up and then over. I'm going to hit the circle. No, that's quite going to hit the circle. Brilliant. Okay, deep breath in. So you've got your arms right over. Deep breath in. And relax and lose that. Sorry, I've got a very annoying dog in the background. Deep breath in. And that arches, and then lose the arch. Deep breath in. Harry, the dog, can you shut him up, please? Deep breath in. And breathe. One more deep breath in. And release down. Okay, bring your arms up to the ceiling and then all the way down. Okay, keeping one hand on the floor, one arm comes up, so you're going to scissor them now. So one arm up and over. And then it's as if I've got you in a rack. I want you to, I'm pulling one hand up and I'm pulling the other hand down. So you will get sort of a little bit of an exaggeration on one side than the other. Reach backwards and forwards, if that makes sense. Sit so really, really tall on one side and come back to neutral, and then we are scissoring our hands up and over, and then reach up and reach down. Reach, 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 and back to center. Let's go up and over one more time. And really feel that stretch on your back on one side and your shoulder. Back to neutral, and one more, up and over. And stretch and stretch. That's it, back to center. Okay, bringing one arm that is over your head, back down. Good. Okay, hopefully your back is still feeling relatively relaxed. It may take a minute. So let's bring our arms all the way up to the ceiling. And then we're going to stretch upwards this time. So your spine should feel really clearly on the floor and your shoulder blades just lifted either side. Nice and tall. Okay, bring your shoulder blades down so they're just all the way down the floor, and then you're going to fork shape your arms out to the side, and then you're just going to lift your chest. So there's a little bit of an arch going on there. That's it. Bring it down, and then we're going to bring it up again. So really stretch, reach for the ceiling. That's it. Bring it down, fork shape, and then we're going to arch that back. So just lifting your back off the floor, get a little bit of a chest stretch going on there. Right, keep your arms in a fork shape. And we haven't done this for a while. I want you to bring, I'm useless at this, by the way, so I'm not a good demo. I want you to bring your hands down to the floor. Now, unless you've got my shoulders, you should be able to get down. So try to keep everything on the floor without having to twist. So you're getting as much of a stretch as you can. Then we're going to bring it up and over and then behind you. Now again, one way might be certainly easier than the other. And let's do that again. So up and over, you should be getting a nice shoulder stretch here. Bring it down. Probably to the floor, better than me. And then up through to center and bring it down. Hands to the floor. Good. Okay, and release that. Bring it up to center. And then we're just going to release that down. Right. Okay, so back should have relaxed by now. We're going to engage our core and just bring our knees up. Oh, bring your knees up and off the floor. Feet off the floor. So first of all, hands down by the side. We're just going to do teeny tiny pendulum swings. So you're just going to rock gently from one side to the other. And what you'll feel is your pelvic bone right at the back is just lifting one side off the floor, roll it over and the other side off the floor. That should feel really quite nice, little mini massage coming across. Might be a little bit cracky and clicky, as long as it's not stabbing pain. There's lots of little tiny muscles and bones down there. So bring it up and over. And across and over. Lovely. Bring it back to center. Now we're going to go into little circles. Let's start with little circles. They'll get a bit bigger. That's it. Again, it should feel super lovely on your lower back, particularly if it is very angry today. This should help. And let's do the little circles the other way. So still keep them fairly small. Good. Coming back to center, and let's make those circles a little bit bigger now. Your core will just have to do a bit of work. I do want it to engage because I don't want you to arch too much. Keep that back relatively flat to the floor. Bring it round, all the way round. That's it. Okay, nice big circles the other way now. So come back to center and then all the way around the other way. And just feel, hopefully, the sort of clicking and cracking going. Getting easier. And let's go one more wherever you are. Just finish the circle that you're doing. Nice and slow. And back to the center point. Lovely. Taking one hand on each knee, we're going to go round this way now. Because I'd like to call this a little frog. It feels like you're a little frog. So you're coming in and out with your legs. They're coming round and into the center. Bring them forwards and out. Nice wide circles. This is really nice on your hips. Hopefully this is helping. Well, we haven't done this one for a while. And then back out the other way. So out first, bring your knees together at the front and away from you. Out, bring them towards your chest and then push them away when they're together. Let's do that a couple more times. Little froggy motion. Helps with digestion, this one as well, actually. And bring it back to center. Lovely. Now we're going to split those knees. And sorry, my knees just cramped. We're going to bring our, using our hip flexors and then your inner thighs, we're going to apply a little bit of pressure onto your knees from your hands and just sink those knees towards you, but away from each other, if that makes sense. So there's a double pressure going on there, down and out. So bring it down and then just slightly bring it out as well. Hold it there. Now your inner thigh will resist against this at first. If you just give it about 12 to 15 seconds, it will just relax. Take a deep breath and try and relax your shoulder blades back into the floor. Also nice to know that if you are feeling a little bit bunged up in a certain department, this usually helps. Just saying. Okay, just bring yourself further in. Bring those knees together. Take a deep breath in and bring them out again. Hold it there. And let's bring it in one more time, nice and slowly, no pinching of groin. Deep breath in and back out. This is not necessarily the best one to do in a full class of people. It's quite nice to do this at home. Particularly attractive on this one. That's it. Okay, and bring that in, just release your knees. Good. Right. Okay, so your lower back should be feeling quite nice. Your hips, we've started to do some warm up on. Let's have a little look at slightly higher. So we've done really high, but something in the middle is slightly missing. So if you hold on whilst we're in this position, and we're going to come into a really tight little ball. So lift your head off the cushion and super tight little ball, okay, as tight as you can get. And then we're just going to do rocks. Now what that should do is get the middle of your back. Try really hard not to rock too much because you'll just fall over. Just tiny little rocks from one side to the other. And you'll feel your mid back. You have to stay tight with this one though. Lovely. Come back to center. Drop your head down back onto the cushion. And then drop your knees. Wonderful. Good. Okay, feet back onto the floor. And we're going to come into a butterfly position. This is definitely going to help your hips. So you're going to bring your feet together and just flop. And I really genuinely mean flop them right out to the side. Now, again, this is different for different people. Some people can just, well, very rarely actually, can just flop the knees straight out to the side. If you are particularly stiff in this area, then it's not going to be quite so easy. If this is starting to ache and you're like, oh God, just make a fist with your hand and just plump underneath your bum, and that will assist. Okay, that will take some pressure off. But if you actually quite like the pressure and it feels quite nice and your feet are nice and close together, just let them go. Let the whole lot go. That will really, really stretch out those hip muscles. If they're really, really tight, this will really help. Now, what can happen is your back starts to arch. Again, it's not particularly useful with this jumper on, but you can really start to feel an arch. Just try and lose that arch, okay? Just use your core and push that arch away so that you can try and relax your pelvis further and it doesn't start coming into your back. Just try and relax it out. A couple of deep breaths. Remember, you've always got the option of your fists right by your glutes if you need to. Now, a slight variation on this. If you just bring your knees very slightly in, and you definitely can use your hands to do this, and just actually cross your legs, cross them. This is a slight variation. It feels very oddly like a tiny stretch in a different direction. Just see how that feels. Just make a note of which leg is crossed in front. Try and relax. Relax your shoulders. Okay, just bring your knees very slightly in, just without pinching. And now cross your legs the other way. Just feel the difference. It may not be, but it might feel a little bit different. This side is always stiffer for me. Personally, I can feel much more of an ache on my weaker side when I do that. It's tighter. Good. Now use your hands if you want to, and just bring your legs together and bring your feet flat on the floor. Right, let's have a little look at a supine twist. So again, you're just going to push your pelvis forward so your back's nice and flat on the floor, hands right out to the side. And then what we're going to do is flop over, and we're going to do big circles this time. It's not so easy on your oblique muscles. They are going to have to do something. So first of all, flop to the side, and then you're going to bring your knees up towards your chest. So if you're not sure what I mean, we're semicircling. You're semicircling around, and then you're flopping back down to the side. Okay, hold it there, come across. So we're going to go one way first, all the way across, pendulum swing across, and then you're going to bring it up and over. And this should feel really nice, if not a little bit difficult. Up and over. Just be aware of the fact that you might move around a bit, so just adjust the pillow if you need to. Up, oh, and round. And let's go one more this side, so just make sure you're flop first, up and over, and then bring it round. Now, if this is really tough and you're like, no, that's not relaxing, Rebecca, at all, that's tough, then just swing from one side to the other, okay? Right, let's go the other ways. And what you've got to do now is remember which way you were going. So flop yourself to the other side, and then we're going to come up and over and swing it around the other way. Bring it down to the side, up and over, and swing it in front of you. All the way around, big semicircle. Let's go a couple more times, up and over. Now again, if you're starting to shift around, just move yourself around and swing it around. Oh, and up. And just swing yourself back to the center this time. Oh, brilliant. Right, bring your legs down. Excellent work. Right. Last bit of spinal bit on the floor in this position. We're going to bring our feet nice and flat onto the floor, and then we're going to tilt the pelvis. We're not going to go too high because you've got cushions behind, so I don't want your neck to hurt. You're just going to tilt that pelvis and bring it back down again, just lifting it. So here's your marble. I've put it onto your belly button. We're going to roll that marble towards and just lift your bum off the floor, and then roll that marble all the way down, all the way up. Haven't used the marble analogy for a while. And all the way back down. Okay, so that marble is rolling forwards towards you and backwards and away from you. Let's go one more time with that. Forwards, lift slightly, and backwards all the way down, and then where do you feel is neutral? Okay, so that marble is right in the middle by your belly button again. Now, other way. So we're going to rock the marble from one hip bone to the other. So basically you're just squeezing your glutes and across. Up and over and lift, and up and over and lift. That's it. Squeeze. Roll that marble from one hip bone to the other. Good. Keeping your knees relatively still. Good. Okay, bringing the marble back to center. Wonderful. Right, marble is lost now. We are going to roll up, 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 lift. Don't worry too much about severe glute work here. We're just going to elongate your spine. So come up so it's still relatively comfortable, up onto your shoulders, and then slowly, super slowly. If you've got this right, you should literally feel each vertebrae sinking down, sinking down. Your glutes have got to do something, but not too much. Right down to the bottom and release. Lovely. Okay, let's do that again. So curl it up, roll, roll, lift, lift, squeeze. Deep breath and roll and curl, 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 curl. If you're really lucky, you'll get a little click. I don't think I'm going to be so lucky this time. And release. Let's go one more. Should feel lovely, even though your glutes have just got to do something to help. Lift. I'd say nice and high, but not too high because you've got a pillow behind you. And curl. Curl it down. Stack, 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 all onto the floor. And release. Lovely. Right, hips back. Should be feeling a damn sight better now. We're going to just use one leg and just roll yourself up really nice and slowly. Please bear in mind that we've been on the floor for half an hour at least. So just give yourself a second. Oof. Right, let's spin over and come onto all fours. Okay, let's get the cushion out of the way for now. Right. Okay, slightly stronger stretch I want to do is actually for your lats here. So it's not necessarily that you've been doing high levels of lat work, because a lat pull down machine is not an option at this precise second. However, they can get quite stiff, especially if you have been doing a number of press ups. So what we're going to do is have a little shoulder stretch, and then I'm going to do a specific stretch for that area, specifically hip. So hands out, and let's, I would say a full child's pose, but I want your toes tucked under, so your bum's up. And we're just going to reach really far forwards and drop your head at the last minute. That's it. Take a deep breath in and rise up slightly, and then sink. Deep breath in, sink down. One more. Lovely. Okay, just slowly roll yourself out of that. And then I want you to sort of just sit back on your heels if that's comfortable to do so. You're in a sort of little ball at the moment. Now, this move is a tad more difficult to get into. So what you need to do is put your elbows, so you're going to reach up like that, put your elbows right in front. So you're sort of on all fours, but your elbows are in front. Put your hands behind your head. Hopefully you can see this. And then we're going to sit back. Now, hopefully, use your head as a weight. You'll feel it is right there. Hopefully that feels strong but comfortable. Coming up, breathe in and sink back down again. And one more time. This should feel quite nice. And sink. Lovely, nice. Slowly bring yourself up. Now, whilst we're in this position, it would be churlish of us not to do a nice little shoulder stretch. Again, if you want to do the more basic version of this, please do. If we want to go into the full advanced version, I will do that. I just don't want you to fall over. So we're going to come onto all fours, thread the needle through, drop and twist your head, and then I just want you to lift and put your hand on your hip to start with, okay? So if you can twist and look up at your elbow, hold it here. That shouldn't be too bad. Bring your hand down and roll it back up. Good, hand down, let's feed through the other way. I'm just going to be careful with my earpiece. Hand onto your hip and look up at your elbow. Try really hard to relax your back and your shoulder blade on this. And hand down and roll yourself out of that one. Right, the more advanced, please do the same thing if you want to. So we're going to come down, and then we're twisting, lift all the way up. Hold it there, look at your hand. We're going to lift your leg and then you're going to bring that round, okay? So for goodness sake, don't roll and fall. You need to keep your balance on this one, and I want you to look right over your shoulder. A bit stronger, that stretch. Arm up, bring it down, bring your knee back and unfold. Lovely. Let's do that completely the other way, okay? So folding down, twist, arm up, leg up if you want to, and then bring your hand behind. And try really hard, if your hair's not in the way, to look right by your shoulder. Good. Hand down, knee down, unfold. Lovely. Okay, wonderful. Oh, right, that would have woken up your shoulders. Okay, a position that is a really, really strong one from a hips perspective. Some people really, really struggle with this one, but some people just sink into it and go, oh, I love that. So depending on how your hips are feeling today and what usually happens, just take this one at various stages. So we're in roughly the right position. So I want you to just spread your knees very slightly wider. Then we're going to walk ourselves forwards. This again is not exactly the most attractive of them, but it's okay. We're here, it's only us, it's fine. So let's just walk forwards. And then your knees need to sink out, okay? Onto your forearms at first, and then just try really hard to sink those knees out. Now, if you are on a wooden surface, I really would advise putting some cushions or something underneath your knees, because this can be quite strong. Your feet are staying relatively far together, and your knees are as far apart as you can get them. Now, the idea over time is obviously you're sinking yourself right back down. So these are coming further out and you're sinking down. If you can actually bring your knees right out and sink down, you'd be able to do box splits. So please don't think, oh, I'm nowhere near the floor. You're not really supposed to be, but if you can do box splits, then you would be on the floor. I'm not sure I know too many people who can do that anymore. I used to do it, but I was 10, so a bit less now. So that's it. Keep it forwards. And then if you want to exaggerate that further, you're going to come down. So sit there, and it should be really strong, okay? If it's far too strong, you just bring your knees further together, okay? Just drop your head. Just try not to arch your back too much on this, otherwise it will start getting into your back. Definitely one of those ones that you need to sink into. Hold it there. If it's all too much, just bring yourself out of it and come into child's pose. Now, if you're like, Becca, it's not that damn bad, then bring your arms out. Okay, even worse is bringing your arms out and you're coming to that child's pose position. Now your back does need to arch a bit here. Right, when you're ready, just bring yourself out of that. So the best way of bringing yourself out of this is slowly. So sit yourself back, come back onto your hands, and just inch your knees in. Inch them in. Try very, very hard not to come out of this quickly, because you'll just pull your groin. And you're coming back to the center. Okay, hope everyone's feeling okay on that one. Right. Okay, so let's, we're going to bring ourselves up for the final few minutes and just try and do a few moves standing up, just to make sure that our balance is okay, but that our backs are still and our posture is still really good. So when we're in this position, I just want you to come into a downward dog. So you're going to tuck your toes under. We're going to come up into a cat stretch and then lift into a downward dog. Just push back, push your head down.
super, super slowly, we're going to bring our hands back to our feet. Now, if that involves bending your knees, please do. Drop your head. Just relax. And roll it up super, super duper slowly. Really slowly. And all the way up head last. Wonderful. Right. Just bear with me, everyone. I'm just going to move the camera. That's it. Oh dear, look at the state of me. Put up with me and my fluffy hair now. Right. Okay. So we have just spent the best part of an hour sorting your back out and your hips out. So let's just make sure that when we're upright, our posture is feeling a lot better now. So first of all, you should be aching a lot less and you should be feeling much more sort of limber. But secondly, your posture should be feeling a tad more correct. So let's just do a bit of a self-check. I'm just going to turn to the side. Give me 1 second, otherwise you're not going to be able to see what the hell I'm doing anyway. Right. So hip width apart with your feet. First of all, just ground those feet. Just give them a little wriggle. And then we're going to spread those toes out nice and wide and just think, right, feet grounded very squarely on the floor. Hip width apart, which is less than you think it is. So I want you to take your both fists, put them next to each other and come down and check that that is roughly where your feet are. That is roughly where your hips are. Hips, especially for girls, we think we're wider than we are. We're not. It's actually quite a lot smaller. So start there, ground those feet. Bring yourself up and think, right, if I locked my leg back, if Amy's looking at this as well, I know you lock your legs back really, really easily. So just unlock those legs, but they still need to remain straight. They still need to feel engaged. So all of you have got some muscles going on there. I know full well. So just ensure that they feel engaged rather than floppy. And so you're just engaging those muscles in your legs. Bring your thoughts up to your pelvis. So for me, I'm quite lordotic, so I'm doing that. So I naturally have to correct my posture, tuck my tailbone under. That involves just very slightly squeezing those glutes and pulling your tummy in. So if you do feel like you're doing that, tuck yourself under nice and gently. Now, at the same time with that, you do need to engage your core slightly. Now, I don't mean squeeze. I just mean know that it's on, it's active, it's not. So just keep it that just very slightly engaged. Bringing your thoughts up to your chest. So are we doing this? Open your chest out. Open your chest out. So just push your shoulders back. They don't need to be like this. It's just push them back so you know that your chest is upright and we're not doing this, okay? There. And now drop your shoulders. So they might be back, but are they up here? Drop them down. Drop them down. Consciously drop them down because they're always too high. Now, head facing forward, arms, just give them a little shake and just drop them down to your sides, okay? So they should feel relatively heavy. Just take a conscious moment to work your way up your own body. Close your eyes and think, do I feel solid? Now, if I was in the classroom with Rebecca and she went around and slightly put some pressure on me, would I fall over? No, I wouldn't, because I'm feeling grounded, I'm feeling solid, and I'm feeling balanced, and my posture is right upright. So you should be feeling really nice and solid. Good. Right, at that point, we're going to lift our arms up. So open your eyes again if you want to. We're going to lift our arms up, deep breath in, and bring it back down. Right, nice posture. Excellent. Now we're going to use that posture to go into a move to ensure that we're balanced when we're in that posture. So taking one leg, putting your balance onto one leg, and we're going to bring one leg out. We're going to bring the opposite arm across. So you've got a little bit of a diagonal going on there. Hand down to the leg, and we're going to lift, and we're going to tilt. Sounds a bit like Polly put the kettle on. Tip me up. And so Sorry, it's been a long day. All right, so we're in a really nice, strong diagonal position. Now, because we've just worked on our posture for an hour, everything should be nice and relaxed, but strong. Bring it back to center, and then we're going to swap sides. So arm up, point that toe out, hand down by your leg, and then we're going to tilt over. Don't worry about too much how much the tilt is, just that there is one. Hold it there. Hold it there. Try and look away from, I'm not going to, but you try and look away from the screen. Look at something that's not moving. Keep that tummy nice and tight. And tilt yourself back again. Lovely. Right, let's try this plane now. So back onto the original leg. You're going to push that backwards now. And then we're going to put the one arm up. To a certain extent, it doesn't matter which arm, okay? Just as long as you're counterbalancing yourself. So we're going to do nice back straight and hinge, hinging at the hip. Keep your back straight, arm nice and tall, everything nice and tall. The other hand down by your leg. Hold it there. Don't worry about how far down, it's more that it's stable. And bring yourself nice and slowly back up. Posture, excellent. Other arm up. I'm just going to do that so I can see you. Other leg back, other hand down by your leg, and you're going to tilt. It's all here, okay? The tilt is at your hip. Now you may find on one side you're a bit more comfortable than the other. If you want to push yourself a little further, just make sure that what is coming up is also coming down. So we're not starting to do that. That's it. Keep level. You're a level board all the way down. Hold it there. Try and ignore that wriggle. Get rid of the wriggle. And bring yourself back up. Lovely. Okay. We're going to finish with a chair hold because it's a different plane. So we're coming down and we're going to bend our knees. So we're going to come down. Both arms are coming up this time. We're going to come down. Hold it here. Now, if your knees are feeling a little bit aggravated today, don't come too low. Now, tuck that tummy in. Now, can you balance on one leg? Come across and lift one foot off. Very good. Lovely. And let's try the other leg. So put that foot down and try the other leg. Your legs have got to do a bit of work here. Your quads might be burning slightly. Just sit back. Arms nice and close by your ears. Bring that foot down and roll yourself up to straight. Excellent work. Very, very good, ladies. I'm loving it. So let's finish, as we always do, with a few nice stretches up. Your posture, your back, your hips, everything should be feeling much better now. So hip width apart and off we go. Bring it down, all the way up. Nice big stretch. Squeeze those glutes and up. Closing your eyes if you're feeling brave. All the way up. And one more, bring it down. All the way up, lift, 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 squeeze, and relax. Wonderful. Ladies, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Hang on one second.